Hello, I'm Jabre from Serdia Pharmaceuticals. I'm the CEO of Serdia, based in Mumbai since 18 months now. I'm very interested to give you the first points that I got since my arrival to India concerning the healthcare of the Indian population. We see a big development of chronic diseases, and unfortunately, the population that is concerned is the young one. For that, we know how important is all the work done and developed by the Ministry of Health and all the healthcare professionals who are aiming very rapidly to raise the awareness of these diseases and for sure bring the best way of managing them for the future of the population in India. What is important to notice is that this combat will for sure give its fruits in the coming months to years, but what it needs is a strict collaboration between all the actors of the healthcare profession. And for that, this collaboration with all the expertise that exists today in India will be able to battle against this epidemic that is and will be costing in the future years a lot of death, unfortunately. For that, today we join all our efforts to all what our government in India, all the healthcare professionals are doing through networking together in order to combat these diseases and elongate the survival with the best quality of life for the population. Serdia Pharmaceuticals is the subsidiary in India for the French pharma company called Les Laboratoires Servier. Serdia Pharmaceuticals launched its operation more than 30 years back, so in the second half of the 1980s, where a few bunch of collaborators started thanks to a high training plus a lot of dedication, all the operations for Serdia in India. Today, thanks to the dedication of multiple colleagues, Serdia in India is having more than 500 collaborators, every day in contact with different healthcare professionals, bringing strict solutions thanks to the innovation that Servier managed to give to the cardiovascular world. These innovations are very important because through the quality of these medicines, as well as the evidence that they hold on Indian patients, are bringing real added value to the Indian cardiovascular and diabetic patient. Angina awareness in India is an extension of a program called Angina Awareness Initiative, which was launched 18 months back by a working group of the cardiovascular pharmacotherapy of the European Society of Cardiology, where their major aim was through healthcare professionals to improve all the management of angina and coronary artery disease in the world. And this is how our colleagues, and for sure an unrestricted grant from Servier, that we manage to tie up with hundreds of healthcare professionals in India, among them important cardiologists as well as physicians who brought to the coronary artery disease patients a better awareness and a reinforced management for the future of their disease. I urge all Indians not to ignore the heart messages and let us get angina under control. Serdia Pharmaceuticals, as we said, being a subsidiary of Les Laboratoires Servier, the innovation that we always worked on was at the level of chronic diseases. And among these chronic diseases, two mainly, which are diabetes and cardiovascular disease. As we are today in our work with this awareness of angina awareness of India, I will focalize of our input in cardiology. In this line, we can see that Serdia managed very rapidly since the early years to bring the innovative medicines to India and to open the access for the Indian population. And since that time, and I can quote the latest publications at the level of the official journal of the European Society of Cardiology yesterday, cardiology is again through the fight very early with an awareness of the disease, a right diagnosis and the right management. And for that, Servier always pushed the healthcare professionals to be all together as a network in order to build up the capacities of the young doctors as well as the nurses and the other healthcare professionals in order to understand better the disease. And for that, Servier and Serdia in India, more specifically, managed to put in place drugs like Flavidon-MR. Flavidon-MR belongs to a class of the metabolic agents, which is recognized by the latest European, American, as well as latest Indian guidelines. And we know that millions of patients every day take Flavidon-MR within its indication. On top of that, other than Flavidon-MR, Servier in cardiology has different medicines. These medicines are based on perindopril, the largest evidence ACE inhibitor for cardiac diseases as well as hypertension, and even this drug with all its combinations today, Coversil AM, Coversil Plus, and Triplexam very lately. I have the great news to announce to the healthcare professionals that a phase 3 study just delivered its data in India, and yesterday the DCGI authorized us to launch Triplexam, which is the triple drug therapy as a single pill combination, perindopril, indapamide, and amlodipine, to be used for moderate or severe hypertensive patients. On top of that, cardiology and Servier are very good partners, and we know that in Europe, Servier is the second biggest pharma in the cardiovascular field, and for that, another innovation. And again, what we can add on these innovations is the latest discovery of Servier of a molecule called ivabradine, recognized by the latest European, American, as well Indian guidelines. Ivabradine, under the name of Coralan in India, is adding for these angina as well as heart failure patients added value to protect them from their symptoms and for sure complications in the coming years. In India, let us say it is secured. Two main reasons. First, we know very well that Serdia is attracting day after day new talents from the pharma business, or mainly campuses and universities, and these people are benefiting from a strong training in order to sharpen their skills and increase their expertise. Through these talents, Serdia is today committed more and more to launch new drugs as well as devices in the diabetes and cardiology field. And just to tell you, in the last 6 months, Serdia managed to obtain 1 NOC as well as 2 new marketing authorizations for cardiovascular drugs in India. In the near future, Serdia is developing the launch of its operation in a new therapeutic field, which is unfortunately hitting badly the young Indian population, which is cancer. And for that, Serdia is working very seriously in order to rigorously bring new innovations at the level of the management and treatment of oncology for the future years.